I'm in Palm Beach, the wealthy Florida enclave, beloved by America's elite. This waterfront town has played host to everyone from Rush Limbaugh, the late conservative radio host, to John Lennon, Rod Stewart, and even the Kennedy family held property here at one point. Its most recent famous permanent resident is, of course, Donald Trump, who headed straight for this warm and sunny town after leaving the White House in January. Mr. Trump owns a private club here called Mar-a-Lago and looks set to make this town his permanent home. Insiders say Mr. Trump's routine doesn't vary very much. He rarely quits the private sphere of Mar-a-Lago, dining at his private club most nights and occasionally straying not too far to his nearby golf club for a round of golf. It's also where Mr. Trump has been plotting his future in US politics. A number of high-profile Republican figures have made the journey to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Mr. Trump since he left office. It's a sign of how much influence Mr. Trump still holds over the Republican Party. In fact, one potential 2024 candidate is even holding a fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago just to underscore her strong connection to Mr. Trump. CPAC, which is the big annual conservative political conference, has even relocated to Florida for the first time in almost 50 years. Mr. Trump himself is attending the conference, which takes place this week, and he'll be the keynote speaker on Sunday. Now, in the words of Dave Arenberg, who's the Palm Beach state attorney and, crucially, a Democrat, Florida will be the headquarters of the MAGA movement for as long as Mr. Trump lives at Mar-a-Lago. But Mr. Trump's wealthy neighbours appear to have other ideas. A number of residents have complained to the town and insisted that Mr. Trump not be allowed to live full-time at his Mar-a-Lago club because of an agreement he struck in the 1990s with the town. Some residents here told me they worried about noise pollution and traffic congestion which comes with playing host to a former president and his Secret Service detail. Now, Mr. Trump has always had fractious relations with Palm Beach. There have been complaints and lawsuits for years, from a complaint about the height of a flagpole on Mr. Trump's estate to whether or not he could create a boat dock on his private property. He's even launched legal action over planes flying over Mar-a-Lago in the past. This most recent complaint is obviously the most significant. The dispute centres on whether or not Mr. Trump can live at Mar-a-Lago full-time. Mr. Trump's lawyers argue that the former president should be treated as an employee of his club rather than a member, so exempt from the strict rules that govern other members of the club. But some neighbours here suggest that they will put up a fight at the next town meeting, which is scheduled to happen in April. So the dispute is likely to rumble on for several months.